Hey Dolphins! This is Maiden Trollblood, and I want to share with you something that I've been doing. Have you ever wanted to make your own shoes for your BJD? Well, I've wanted to because there are just some styles out there that are not available. I've got Rivo here with me. There he is, and you can see he's got no shoes. He's got his elf costume on, but no shoes. His feet are very cold. So, I've been making some shoes, and I want to just sort of tell you a little bit about it. It's not going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a very good tutorial, but maybe it might strike some inspiration in you. But, yeah, I'm a history fan, if you want to know anything about me. I love medieval, so I think Rivo's costume is lacking some good medieval shoes. And they just don't make those, you know? Most shoes that I've seen for BJDs are modern, which is cool, but, you know, it's not what I want. Okay, so, there's another tutorial that I was watching on YouTube. YouTube is awesome. This is my favorite place to be for BJDs, let me tell you. I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of the person, but I'll put it in the description, okay? So I want you to check that out. They make shoes right before your eyes, and I want you to watch it, because that's what I did. And I'm going to tell you what I have and sort of what I've been doing. Scissors. You're going to want scissors. This is a hole puncher for leather. I want to make my shoes out of leather. I just sort of look at pictures of shoes on the internet, and I look very closely and see how they were made. And I just look at it and I figure out how the pieces should be cut out. You're going to cut out some pattern pieces. And I'll give you an example. I'm not going to show the actual pictures that I was looking at on Yahoo Images, but what I did was I drew the design, so I don't have to show the actual picture. And this is what I'm working on right now. It's a drawing that I did of the photo. But it's my own, so I don't have to worry about, I don't know, copyright or whatever. So there you go. That's the shoe I'm making. It's medieval, I think. I can't tell you exactly what year that design was used. So, sorry. So what you're going to want to do is look really closely at your shoe photograph, and it's going to be trial and error, I'm telling you. If you're using leather like me, it's sort of expensive. So you might want to practice using fabric or felt. In fact, you might want to, making shoes out of felt sounds really easy, and I imagine a lot of people are doing that. So, but if you're wanting to use something more heavy duty, like leather, then practice a lot. I cut out my patterns out of notebook paper, and then I can keep patterns after that forever, and I can always bring out the pattern and reuse it again if I want to make a different color shoe or something. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about my leather making shoes. I've got this glue. I just got like the strongest sort of glue that I could find. This, on the package, it said you can use it on leather. You can use it on metal, cork. Cork is important because I'm using cork for the soles. Leather. And I don't really like this glue very much, though. I don't know if there's anything better, but I'm using it. It takes a while to dry, and you have to literally hold down the pieces until it sticks, until it dries. Here's a sole that I made out of cork. And I decided to give the shoe a lining, so I glued this white fabric to the shoe. And this is my unfinished pair. This is the right foot. I've already made the left foot, and here it is. It's black, and because it's black, the dye definitely comes off on my fingers. So you know it's going to come off on a resin doll. So that's why I just glued it down. It's just simple. I glued it to the leather. It's actually suede. And there it is. And this is my shoe compared to that drawing that I showed you. And I figured it out, and I just tried to make sure that the pieces would fit the doll. I can't really tell you how I did that. I don't know. I just sort of imagine things and then it happens, you know. It is trial and error. And beforehand I had made this shoe. This is an ankle boot, and the color looks awful with Rivo's elf costume, but it's a pretty good looking shoe, and it's kind of big. It's hard to figure out how snug you want it to be on your doll, but, you know, trial and error. And this one is not lined, and you can see the little cork sole. It's a thin little piece of cork. So it's definitely trial and error, and I'm just figuring it out. This one's smaller, as you can see, and yeah, it takes a bit of money, but I think once you get used to it, it's going to be really easy. This is actually the third shoe that I made, and I'm getting the hang of it. Although it's not, I don't want to say that it's fun. It's not. The glue smells horrible, and it's just tough. I didn't sew them together because leather is really tough. I laced them together everywhere. There's 4 pieces of suede and fabric that I used for this, and I just laced them all together, so it's laced on all sides. So it looks very rustic, and that's what I'm going for. I want to look medieval and rustic, and this one is the same. This one only has 2 pattern pieces to it, and it's laced together and glued, laced and glued. But if you're using fabric or felt, then you can use a sewing machine, and that's going to be a lot easier. I made a replica of Rivo's foot, and I made it out of polymer clay, which is something you bake in the oven, and this is it. I call it Rivo's chocolate foot because it looks like a Tootsie Roll. And it's actually a lot bigger than his actual foot because I figured that I wanted the shoes to be roomy, you know? So it's not like strangling his foot or something. And I don't know. I'm afraid that it's sort of going to mess it up somehow, but this one is a little bit left or right specific. I guess I would say this is a right foot, but I didn't really want it to be specific because obviously it's a model that you're going to use on both shoes. So it is bigger. So basically you put it down onto the sole, and since I'm tweaking my design, the sole is getting smaller. It's a little bit smaller than the foot. And then you can tie it down. That's how I started out. I tied a string around it. Here's the string I used to lace my leather together. It's waxed string, and I think it's nice and strong and stuff. And then I have this. Here's my pattern pieces, and they're laced together on all except for one side, and it looks like this. 4 pattern pieces comes together and looks like this in the end. So I'm sorry that I can't tell you how I figured that out, but this is definitely going to exercise your brain. You're going to, figuring out just by looking at a picture of a shoe how the pieces are going to be cut out. For the most part, the toe is going to be really round like that for most shoes, I think, definitely. So that's a definite. And you put it down. Anyway, moving on. You put it down on top of the foot, like this. This is how the person did it in the video, and I'm going to tell you in the description who it is and how you can watch the video. And I think you should watch the video, because they're going to tell you stuff they're going to show you stuff that I'm not going to show you, because this is very time consuming, and you kind of have to sit there with the glue. Basically what you're doing is you're putting it down on the foot like that, and you're gluing it to the bottom of the sole. Like that, basically. But you're going to cut zigzag designs into this edge. And the zigzags are just going to they're going to mold all around it like that. That's how it's going to get that round shape. That 3D shape. And it's going to look like that. And this shoe isn't done yet. I'm going to I'm going to sew another, not sew, I'm sorry. I'm going to glue another piece of suede to the bottom of this to cover up this ugliness. And it's going to look like this in the end. I'm just going to use the same pattern piece that I used for the sole, which is right here. Same pattern piece, and it's going to go on the bottom. So it's going to look the same. And, you know, this, the suede, however, it might not have very good traction on the surface. So I probably wouldn't stand the doll up without a stand wearing these shoes. I want you to use your imagination. That's very good for you. And you can, maybe there's other ways you can make soles. If you can get rubber or something and cut out a piece of rubber, then that would be better for traction. Ryvo doesn't really stand on his own very well. I think he needs to be restrung again and tightened up. So I don't stand him up. And if I do, I definitely use a doll stand. So anyway, that's how that goes. You know, you don't have to make one of these feet because, I mean, you know, that's a whole nother can of worms, all that polymer clay stuff. But anyway, maybe there's something else that's shaped like a doll foot you can make or find. I don't know. It's anything, because basically what you're using this just to grab on, you know, just grabbing onto it. And you can hold it like that, and it gives you something to hold while you're gluing. Oops, wrong way. There you go. And anyway, since this glue doesn't have any sort of spout for gluing like that, we have to use a dish. Here's one back here, and it's got lots of dried glue in it, so it looks really yucky. And I use this shish kebab skewer. And you dip the glue out, and then you put it down here, and then you glue down your tabs like that when you cut the zigzags. And I cut the zigzags as I go along. I don't cut them all. And you're always going to be modifying the pattern, because I like to start at the toe, and as I go all the way down to the sides, you'll find that this is too long, so you're gonna be cutting this off, or I will be. You may not be, but I will be. I'm gonna be cutting this off so it will fit perfectly and fit to the back of the foot, and then it'll be laced up the back like that. So this is I don't know if I said before. This is the third shoe I made. I made the first boot, and it was tall. It was a tall boot, and it took a lot of suede. But that thing was huge. That was my dud. That was my first attempt. So I tweaked my my process a little more. Came out with this. Didn't like it. Although I think it is a good shoe if you have an outfit that looks good with it. Oops. See? You can also flip it up like that. Made this. Didn't like it. It's still a little big. And then I tweaked again, came out with this, and like in the picture, I'm going to show you the picture one more time. There it is. It's supposed to have a string at the top, as you can see. I don't think I'm going to make that string though. I was, but this is still a little bit roomy. It's a little loose when I slip it onto his foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch holes all across here, and I'm going to lace it. And then it's going to really fit very well. I don't know if it's going to look good with his outfit, but it's going to fit. So that's it. I hope I've said everything. I hope I didn't leave anything out. This is a chalk pencil that I use to mark where I want to make my holes. Yeah, that's it. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. But if you have any questions, just ask, and I'll do my best to answer. It's my goal in life to help people. I've gotten so much help on YouTube that I want to give back and I want to help people too. So, there you go. Yeah, sorry I don't have a formula that I can tell you how to come up with it, but to tell you the truth, you're probably going to want to make a different pattern than me. So... I hope you have a great Halloween. And Rivo and me are not going to do anything for Halloween. We're just going to sit around and make shoes. So anyway, enjoy yourself. And see you later. Bye-bye.